Welcome back to our continuing exploration of the opening moves of Juru 2. Today we'll think about it as a preemptive strike. Again, all I'm doing is responding to stimulus. If the stimulus is interpreted by me in a way that says I am going to be attacked and I can't get away, then you're back to that idea of not having any choice. The opening move again is this. One of the principles we use, in Silat Fitra is using 2 for 1, meaning every time he punches, I'll use 2 hands for 1, and somewhere along the line he'll give you a thumb. So whatever he's doing, I'm moving 2. And because he thought at that point about throwing a second punch, if you watch it closely on the camera, you'll see the thought go through his face. My hand picked it up and moved away from it more quickly, which is why he then started to grin a little bit. And if you play it back, you'll see that too. And that actually was an unintentional example of what I was talking about several months ago, about how we can slow things down or see things more clearly. One of the problems we've got under pressure is that the notion of tunnel vision, which is a sort of biologically driven response, is a chemically driven response, is what happens inside our body creates tunnel vision unless you've really, really, really trained under enormous sorts of pressure to avoid it. So in Silat, whilst we have to have situations where people are trying to knock us out and do all that sort of thing, we also use our eyes in certain ways to see if we can increase our vision. As human beings, we've got 2 types of vision. We've got vertical vision, which goes this way, and we've got peripheral vision, which goes that way, peripheral. And surprisingly, our biggest type of vision, the way our eyes work best, is peripherally. If you want to test it, just put your 2 fingers together like this, about so far in front of your nose. And then all you do is look at the spot where your fingers met and very slowly move them up and down and keep looking at the same place where your fingers were. And you'll notice that this hand stays in view for ages and this hand disappears up there. But it's still quite big. Now, that's our vertical vision. If we take our peripheral vision, we do the same thing, but we're going to move out sideways. And you look at the spot where your fingers were, and now you keep looking at that middle spot. If you do this, never do it in a bus because you'll end up poking people in the eye. Presumably they're sat next to you, otherwise I don't mean you go running up, and it doesn't make you suddenly decide to run up and down a bus and stab people in the eye. It doesn't do that. It's not some sort of weird thing that sends you into a homicidal trance. I can still see my fingers, despite all the waffle. My peripheral vision is big.